right, he is finally here, fresh off the boat. It is Transformers Legacy United Commander Class Magmatron from Beast Wars Neo. I did own the original. I don't know where it is currently. I don't think I sold it, but I remember I packed him away a while back and couldn't find him. But we'll have some good comparisons here showing him off. Because the original one was fun. This one's actually a nice updated version of it. There's a few things that I think the original does a smidge better, or did a smidge better based on my memory. But yeah, this guy's big, and a lot of fun. So without further ado, we'll get into it. So you got Sea Soar, Land Soar, and Sky Soar. You also get a bunch, like 1, 2, 3, 4. You also get 6 individual purple blast pieces, which we'll put to use later on. The instructions actually show a use for them with the sword. But all right, 1, 2, 3, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blast pieces. I forgot these two were separate. Anyway. So yeah, you got, start with the smallest here first. You got Sky Soar. He's got a posable neck, an opening beak, movable legs and feet here. The wings can open wide, close. There's some sword storage under here. He's probably the basic of the dinosaurs we got here. Yeah, got his little crystal. Very cool. The claws here are on a ball joint that I feel like should have been done the other way, because you can't. I feel like these would be more effective if you could bend them forward versus back like that. But alas, that's how they did it. I don't know why they didn't just flip that around, sculpt it, but whatever. I think they'd be a lot more effective. But yeah, that's Sky Soar. It's pretty basic. He does have Magmatron's head hiding in there, but we'll get to that later on in the video. Land Soar. It's a Gigantosaurus. He's got a little ball joint on his teeny arms, but the arms don't move. His jaw opens and closes. His neck can swivel. He can look up and down, although that does gap out his neck here. He's got ratcheting legs, although again, they're designed to fill the gap. You can see some robotic parts hanging out there on the underside. And if you bend them too far back, you're going to see a lot of his guts. And you can kind of see through them, but I remember that possibly being an issue on the original as well. But then he's got ratcheting knees, his feet. He's got ankle tilts in his feet, which is kind of cool. His tail can wag back and forth when he's happy. But yeah, again, fairly large. And then you got Sea Soar. He's got hinges on the back fins. He actually does have ball joints on the front fins, so you can move them around and rotate them around for shield mode and things like that. And then he's got swivel ball, and then swiveling piece, another swivel ball, hinge swivel ball, swiveling neck piece, another hinge swivel ball, swiveling neck piece, another hinge swivel ball up here, swiveling neck piece, and then his head kind of's got a cut there for up and down, and his mouth open. So you can get his neck in a wide variety of poses. He's a Loch Ness Monster. He's cool. He's champy. You also need those ball joints to get his head to come up over the shoulder in robot mode. He is hollow under here, and I'm a little disappointed in that. I'm sure somebody will end up making some little gap fillers for that. But that's my big disappointment with the Plesiosaur. For everything this does, like, there's a lot of stuff that I can deal with just because of the way it cuts and the way he transforms. But I do wish this neck wasn't so hollow. So there's my complaint. Like, the neck here, and while I get it, I wish there'd been maybe a little bit more of an effort, considering this piece is a separate piece. I wish there'd maybe been some little panels here to hide this a little better. But alas, they're still pretty cool and pretty big, and they're cool-ass dinosaurs. They have, I'm going to show this off, even though it is one of the most ridiculous things in the mode. They have a weird Chimera mode, which is disturbing the right word? Well, I'll let you decide for yourself. So you pop, for Land Soar, you just lift this up. We're going to need access to these pegs, this slot and these pegs here. Sea Soar, we're going to unpeg, we're going to pop them apart. And this is part of the transformation process you'll use to get to robot mode as well. But we need to pop his upper halves apart. I think these fold in. But yeah, there's tabs. Fold those in, flip out this little peg here. Flip these around. Again, this is, a lot of this also is how, and flip this up like this. A lot of this is how his, is basically is going to be his shield in robot mode as well. And then here, we got the plesiosaur. And we're just going to open this up, bring his arms out, lift this up. Slide, this piece slides to the side. And then you bring his arms, unpeg his arms, and bring them down. These are going to end up becoming the legs of this weird-ass combined mode. We'll bring those down for the time being. Leave this at an angle, flip up this little clip right here. If I can get it there. You may need to, oh, there we go. And then take these panels right here. Actually, maybe you want to do that. Before you pull that clip up, flip that clip all the way up. And then you're going to take them, and they are going to plug in right here on the arms. There's a little triangle piece here. So you can lock them into place. Why is that not lining up properly? Oh, because no? Oh, maybe I may have rotated the arm piece the wrong way. Nope, okay, whatever. But you want to... Oh, no? I keep thinking that there's an extra hinge there. This worked earlier. I did this earlier. I don't know why suddenly... There we go. You just want to tab that in right there like that. Tab this right in there like that. Nope. I do think maybe I did. Maybe this should go the other way. Yeah, that looks right. But these do come in. Like this triangle piece right here does clip in right here. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how it locks the leg down in place. So, whatever. There we go. Rotate the leg around so the knee faces forward, rotate the wrist around. The wrist is, you're just gonna kind of open up and pretend it's a foot. There's a little peg there that kind of works as an ankle joint or a stability peg. And same over here. And you're gonna take it, this piece and this piece are gonna clip on to the dinosaur tail. And you wanna go ahead and flip these panels right here out because these pegs are also going to help secure the combined mode here. So take the dinosaur tail. There's a little notch right here that clips back into this little clip. Get it on there. Come on. There we go. And then this piece clips up here. It clips very loosely up here onto this, right here. The clip inside the plesiosaur is clipping onto here, and then there's a peg hole right here that you're going to plug this into. On the tail, and then do the same on the other side. And that makes this connection pretty stable back here. And you can just fold this up however you want to get it out of the way. And again, you'll move unpeg the shoulders. Just get it so it supports the full-on combined mode here. So it's looking like this so far. And then you're gonna take this, this clip right here is gonna clip on here and peg in right here, and this peg is gonna go in right here. So you just gotta line that up. And then there's these little tabs right here are gonna fit into these slots inside the plesiosaur. Both sides, plug it all in, and now and then this piece comes up and relocks the two halves together. This comes up as a weird sentient tail, the plesiosaur head. Again, Chimera. So now we're in this weird hybrid mode. Get the feet flat. And then from here, we're going to take, this piece should stay up. We're going to take, this is the silliest part of this combination. If it weren't already silly. It's already fairly, honestly, kind of uncomfortable looking as well, but alas. So for the bird, bring the legs down, flip the wings around like this. So they're facing the opposite direction. You're basically just using the Pteranodon to give him wings, like he's a Red Bull. This tab and this peg hole are gonna go into this slot and on this peg. So you just kind of lift him down like this here. And there we go. And see if we can peg that on. This neck out also snaps into, and then you just kind of push that down, put these feet however you wish. And there's a slot here on the back of this head, and there's a tab in here. The instructions say to fold this down, peg this all together, and attach it like that. So now he's got wings in the middle, and a weird plesiosaur butt, and a Gigantosaurus body. And that's Chimera mode. But then the instructions, like this is already weird. The instructions, so you can have all three of the dino heads visible and engaged, say to flip this head up like this. And this just looks like Landsaur and Seasaur have combined in order to join their forces to make them faster so they can get their friend Skysaur to the delivery room on time. Because that looks like a pterodactyl or a pteranodon giving birth on the back of an unholy abomination. So, but it is technically in the instructions, and it was present on the original toy too, this weird Chimera mode. Interesting, not probably the way you're going to want to combine these three most of the time. But yeah. I'm sorry, I just can't, it's so freaking ridiculous. But it's big and fun, and I think it's neat that they gave them that functionality, and it's just something different besides just the combination. Although the combination is worth it on its own between the three dinosaurs in the robot mode without all of this. So anyway, we'll go ahead and restore their dignity here and get them all separated, and then we'll show you how to turn them into a cool-ass robot. This neck always pops in there much more securely, so we'll just set him off to the side for a moment, and we'll disentangle these two. Just pop this piece off the top, unpeg these holes, these tabs right here, and then just unclip everything from here. And we're pretty much back where we started with these two, and with Seasaur, we've already got the arms started to halfway transform, and this, like I said, with this out, this is pretty much the shield that's going to go on his arm unchanged. So you can just leave this, you can just leave this as it is, set it off to the side. We'll put it on in robot mode. So to start this off, you want to fold these panels back in, untab these and fold them back up into the body, flip that up, flip that back, and then flip this back around to the back here. Bring his arms down at the shoulders. Sometimes if you ever try to twist these and they get stuck, they do, for alt mode, they do have a tab and a peg and a slot here. So if you're having trouble moving them, just try lifting this up a little bit, because it's probably just pegged itself onto that tab. It does it fairly easily. So bring that down, bring this down, like this. And go ahead and take these panels right here, fold them all the way around, and then you can see they're going to tab in back to the back of the arms here. You don't have to do this all right now. You can do some of this while you're you can actually leave that folded up in there. In here, but there is his arms coming together. Bring the fists around. You can see he does have a peg hole for holding things, but his fingers are all one piece and move independently. This moves, and he does have a wrist swivel and a hinge there in the wrist, which is nice. But anyway, bring those up like that, and that's essentially, and then this comes up like this, and that's essentially how this piece is going to be for his combined robot mode. You want to, if you want to get this and fiddle around with this, I guess you could actually already go ahead and attach it. This is going to end up pegging onto here, but we'll wait until we get everybody else together. So we'll set that off to the side. Skysaur. Open up his body. Look, there is Magmatron's head with his giant head wings. Go ahead and get them out of the way. You want to bring these up and around like that. and then bring this head up right here like this. And we're mostly ready to go here with Skysoar as well. Now, Landsoar. Go ahead and pop that up. This whole, getting this on, going into dyno mode is the worst part. So, or the most difficult part. Open this up, and then this whole assembly right here comes down, and then it unpegs from the tail here. And you can see there's a post and a tab there that fits in there, and it's really kind of hard sometimes to get it to go all the way in. I swear to God, I've been fighting that all night because I usually have to get it in there and then kind of fold this down, and just by the process of folding it down, we'll kind of snap it finally into place. It has never gone in like that first try, and I do not know. Maybe it fixed itself. I don't know. But anyway, if you have trouble getting this in, like I was going to try and demonstrate, kind of get it in there and lined up. The trick is if you can get the if you have this post sticking straight out, there's a hole in there, and if you get that lined up, you can kind of get it. See, now it's giving me trouble. But there we go, and it just did it again. But anyway, if you have trouble doing that, get that lined up and then just kind of move it down like that, and this piece will kind of push it properly into place because it's really hard. The square peg is up here on this, and it's really kind of hard to get a finger in there to push that properly back into that slot. But you can use this piece to do it. So if you have trouble, that's how you fix it. But mine appears to have finally, maybe it was just that the hole was a little too tight, and doing it a couple of times fixed it, but it's never gone that easy for me. But anyway, separate that out. This piece is going to fold up all up around into the body. Actually, before you fold this up, you want to bring these down. Fold those two side panels in. You can see where this tab and slot's going to come together. Collapse that up into there. Yep, maybe you need to do that first. There's a little bit of a clearance issue with these tabs and such. Okay, yeah, there we go. And I'm a little concerned because there is a piece in here, like, I think I may be starting to see stress marks right here, which is worrisome. Doesn't look like nothing's falling apart or broken yet, and it's not passing through to the other side, but just be careful with that. But then bring that down around like that, and then flip this piece up. And again, there's a tab and a slot. Tab that into there, and then fold this peg down, and that is going to be the hilt for his sword. The sword, of course, the blade hides in the tail, and this is another one of my few complaints because I'm getting it out, but it's a soft plastic, and it's very pliable, and like even just the weight of having it in his hand, if he's not holding it straight, if you have it tilted just slightest little bit, just the weight of the sword will kind of cause it to bend a little bit. I thought maybe it was just because initially when I first opened him up, he'd been on the porch for an hour or so on a hot day, and it would solidify, but even with it back down to room temperature, it's still very flexible and a little wobbly. And like, I'm okay with them making it a soft plastic to keep it from breaking and snapping, because it does kind of slide up in here, and getting it out can be a little difficult. I just wish it were a little firmer than what we got. And maybe that's a quality control thing. Maybe it will vary between figures, and yours won't have an issue. But that's one minor complaint on mine, that this is just, I wish this were just a smidge stiffer. I don't need it to be fully hard plastic, but just a smidge stiffer than what it is. We'll set that off to the side for right now. So bring the legs down, straighten them out. Now you may need a spudger for this part, because these heel pieces are supposed to flip out, and I haven't been able to get quite enough of a grip on them because they're very tight to get them out on my own. But if you have like a spudger or some prying tool, you can kind of get up in there and pop these out enough to, there you go. And once they're out, they rotate out, flip the heel fully out like that, once and then twice. And there's a couple little toe spikes that flip up and go through his dinosaur feet to give him like spiked toes. On the original toy, there was a whole assembly that came down and kind of folded under his dino foot to give him like a treaded shoe, and those came up through his feet. And actually, I think came up a little higher than these do. That you get them sticking more straight up, but make them more visible. But alas, that's how they do it here. And like honestly, it's not too bad because they do replicate that feature, even if it's not the same transformation bit. But it was one of the things that I always thought was fun when transforming the original, was folding that shoe out. Anyway, we'll flip those up. And then there's a piece here that flips out from the back of the leg. And you'll know you have to have this straight up and down, because this comes down and is going to tab onto that peg. And if you have that bent forward, it won't match. And then up here, you bring this whole assembly down to form the back of the leg, and then plug these pistons in here. He still retains all of his range of motion, including his ankle tilt, but actually that's probably why they didn't do it as one shoe, because now he has ankle tilt, and if that was all one connected piece, it wouldn't be there. So that makes more sense. He does leave him with a hollow thigh, but all in all, when the figure's all combined, I don't mind it so much, but that is kind of a cool little mechanism for making that happen. Bring that down, and tab that in, and we're good to go. The torso, go ahead and split the side pieces here. His dino arms, rotate around. There's a little peg on the bottom of them that you peg up here into the body. And the same over here. And then this whole assembly lifts up. This comes down. You can see it folds back. Lift this up. The torso panels untab and open wide like that. And then you want to rotate this piece like this, so the dino head is facing, at least it's facing upwards, but like, so he folds out this way. You want to push that neck piece up into the head. This piece folds down flat, and yeah, you needed to fold that back a little bit to get that down all the way. Yeah, there we go. And then bring the dinosaur head out like that. That piece folds down. That's the piece that's going to get you, because I was trying, I'm pretty sure the dinosaur head needs to rotate this way, and I didn't realize this panel was here. So fold that panel down in there like that. The white spine should be on this side. And then this should just kind of come up like this, and you can fold it down like that. And then these panels are going to come up like this, but you don't quite want to snap them into place yet. Well, I guess you could. I'll go ahead and do that. But then make sure, like, again, fold this back, and then there's a tab here that you want to make sure locks all the way together. He still has a waist swivel, but you want to make sure that to lock that down into the lower body. And there is the lower half of Magmatron, or most of Magmatron of his core body. So let's put them together. So we'll start off right here. We'll take the Skysaur, and we'll slot it. You can see where a lot of this stuff's going to go, the tabs and the slots here and the cutouts here. You just want to kind of push this through into his body, just like that. It will kind of click into place, and then you just fold Skysaur's head into the divot on the chest, and then bring these down like this. There's a little tab here that kind of hooks into a cutout in the back here of the chest armor, but bring that down so it comes all the way down here. There we go. And fold that down like that. Lift this head up. And then we're going to take our plesiosaur here, or Seasaur. Make sure those are all locked onto those tabs into place. And these tabs right here are going to clip in up here. And we're going to there's a small little peg that's going to kind of right here that's going to sit up here, although that really was more like a guiding peg. It doesn't really peg in. And there's a couple of small pegs down here that peg into the base of the spine. You may want to lift the wings up here on the top of Magmatron's head. Just lift them up like that so you have some clearance. But push this through and just clap it onto the back. You really want to snap the arms in first. If you snap these pieces in, everything else kind of lines up. But that's going to be that's the strongest clip, is these right here. But there, these all pegged together. You bring the tail down. The dinosaur head can kind of rest down there over the shoulder, and then this piece you twist. Leave this up like here, and you may have to use all those multiple ball joints, but you want to bring this around, and there's a peg there. Peg that on to his shoulder, and then you can bring the wings down. And there is Magmatron in a full thing. And again, this is where I feel like those, I feel like these, if they could twist this way and fold down, would be better, because this looks weird if you fold them like that. Like, I mean, I guess you can go like that or like that, but like any way you position these, because they're curved the opposite way of where I feel they should, they look a little awkward. That's not too bad, I guess, if you just have them kind of off there like that. But again, you can fold these down. You can have his wings out. They do limit his, unless you lift him up, they do limit his head range a little bit. especially over here with the dinosaur head. But he does have a side-to-side head swivel. But he's got ratcheting shoulders, bicep swivel, dual hinged elbows, the aforementioned wrist swivel, the other hinge there at the wrist, the opening fingers. We saw the waist swivel. You have to lift that up a little bit, but he does have waist swivel there. Some of the pieces will get in the way, but he can swivel a pretty good amount. Not ratcheting hips, which is surprising, but very solid hips, thigh swivel, ratcheting knees, and then the forward and back of the toes. And then, well, I guess the forward and back end of the toes, but then ankle tilt there at the foot. And then his shield, if you bring his arm, you rotate his fist this way, and then rotate his forearm. So he's got this peg hole out here, and there's a couple little hidden divots that this clips onto. You just take this clip and clip it onto his arm, peg, clip it onto his arm. You'll hear it snap. You may need to lift up the bird head there, or the wings, just to get that fin out of the way. Because these fins you can rotate like this. They don't have ball joints like the front, but those kind of go up there like that and get them out of the way. There he is with his shield. And his sword, you take the handle, and you can just plug it in like that and have his sword, which is how the original toy was. And it actually was a firing missile as well. This one is not. But the instructions also show that you can show these blast pieces. Just put these blast pieces in and then plug the sword into them. And now he's got a big old energy sword, although kind of floppy because of the, maybe you don't want to use the big one. Because again, the soft plastic on this is just a little softer than I would prefer. And the more of these blast pieces you add, the more this wibbles and the less secure the sword is. But you can do it if you want. We're just going to use it basic. But before we put that in his hand, you can also take, if you want to arm him up differently, there's two little, again, soft plastic. Oh, like, actually, these are harder plastic. The wings are soft plastic. But you can give him a couple of little twin swords if you want as well. But personally, I think he looks cooler with the shield and the big sword, so I just generally leave these plugged up into the wings up here. Like that. And then give him his sword. Just like that. And there he is. There is Magmatron, ready to lead the Predacons in Beast Wars Neo. But like really cool and just really fantastic, very large figure. I'd seen pictures of the comparison. I didn't realize even just in hand, just the heft he's got, because he's very, despite being a bunch of dinosaurs pegged together with some hollow bits when they're in dinosaur mode, the robot mode is really stuffed with all the parts and is very solid all the way through. Again, you can kind of see that how that sword's just like that. The sword's already kind of drooping a little bit, which is a little disappointing. But I may try to heat it, bend it back a little bit, because it could be that it keeps bending that way because maybe it picked up a warp in the heat. And if I rebend it and try it, but even then, like, the plastic's very soft. It's not going to take much for it to warp again. And for size comparisons, just to show off, even though I don't have any of his brethren from Beast Wars Neo, here he is with the recent Voyager Lyo convoy, just to give you an idea of how big he is. Here he is with Leader Dragon Megatron, and again, much larger. And for fun, let's go ahead and get them out of here. Because I did have access to him. Here he is with the Beast Wars second original Galvatron. And now that we have Magmatron, I would love, and we have Lyo Convoy especially, because that was his. I mean, granted, this is not I do have the original Lyo Convoy, but I didn't pull him out of the shelf for today. I just grabbed Galvatron. But like, now that we have Lyo Convoy and Magmatron, I really hope we get a new big convoy. But most especially, I really, really hope we get an updated version of this Galvatron, because this is a really fun toy that more people should experience. Now, granted, he will probably lose a lot of the spring-loaded gimmicks and things that this one has, but just for I really, really enjoyed this Galvatron and that design, and I would love to see an updated take on it. Magmatron here, like I said, they've changed some of the transformation, and taken away some of the spring-loaded gimmicks and such, but Magmatron is actually a pretty faithfully updated representation of Magmatron, of the toy that I remember having. Whereas I'd like to see what they could do with this, just to kind of, because it's a neat toy, but it had some awkward transformations and proportions. I like them, but I'd love to see what we'd get from a modern take on Beast Wars 2nd Galvatron. And then just real quick, I wasn't planning on doing this, but let me grab him real quick. I posted a picture earlier on Twitter, but there he is with the recent Armada Convoy, Armada Prime Commander class. And just for also fun, because he's also right over here on the table. Here he is with the Robots in Disguise, Car Robots Fire Convoy. And you see he's bigger than Fire Convoy. We'll have to do that comparison again when the HasLab Fire Convoy gets here, because I cannot wait for that, although I know that's still well in the future. But yeah, he's very large. He has a fantastic presence. I love a lot of the sculpt details. I think they've done a really good job. Like I said, with where this clips on and things like this, I think they've done a really good job hiding some of the attachment points for all of the various accessories on this guy. But just a really fantastic version of Magmatron. Super stoked to have him. And if you get a chance to grab him, I highly recommend it. He's a lot of fun. So there we go. There is Magmatron. Thanks for watching. I hope everybody's having a great week. And like I said, we got some Beast Drive figures and got a couple fun toys coming up this week. Not big toys, but some fun toys that I've picked up recently coming up later in this week. But Magmatron is the showcase, and I really wanted to make sure that he got up there because, wow. All right, take it easy. Good seeing you guys. Or girls, or anybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging around, even though it's really kind of a one-sided conversation. So, at least here while I'm recording. I will respond to many comments over the next few days, but right now it's just me alone in my kitchen with Magmatron, and that's enough.